Hey guys, and welcome back to What Are You Reading? We are so excited to chat to you about what books we've been reading. We know you love it. It's your favorite segment of the week, so you guys know how it works. You guys let us know what you've been reading, and we'll let you know what we've been reading here in the office. So type away, let me know in the comments. I love to read what you guys have been reading and have a chat to you about books. My favorite thing to talk about. I can never stop reading, so it's always so great to come jump on here and chat to you about books, because I know you guys love reading just as much as I do. So let's begin with our book club pick of the month. So our book club pick, if you've been following us on Instagram, you know it's Legacy by Chris Hammer. And Chris Hammer, he just never lets you down. He's so great, and every book is just so good. So Legacy did not disappoint. I have been reading it throughout the month. I've been updating you guys on Instagram and Facebook stories, and I am 3/4 of the way through now, just about, and I am ready to finish this on the weekend. It's so good. It's another Martin Scarsden novel, and he had a book launch, but then they blew up the book launch and he had to escape. He had to run away. Mandy, his wife, and his son had to escape as well, but then things just keep on happening. He ends up in this small town, and then he stumbles into a feud between the Carmichaels and Stantons, two families who own big stations out there in the rural landscape, farms, and they're fighting over the water because there's a drought. And then there's also Echo, who is writing a story on the Carmichaels, I think, side of things, yet the Carmichaels, but then she has a dark history, and somebody is using that to target Martin Scarsden, and there's just so much going on, and I've been loving it. I know a lot of you guys have been reading this, so let me know what you think. I am obsessed, can't wait to finish it and chat to you guys later. I'll be doing a book review, which will be posted next week, I think, next week or the week after on our Facebook page. So follow along to see what I think of that. Another book that's been really exciting is The Return of the Spider by James Patterson. Another James Patterson book, and this is in the Alex Cross series. I think it's the 33rd one in the series, and Alex Cross, he thought that the serial killer Gary Sonigi was dead and buried, but turns out he's wrong, and then he also figures out that he's put the wrong person in prison and everything's going wrong and it's going crazy. So now he's deep diving into a case that he thought was done, a long ago investigation, and he has to face the return of the spider, and it's so tense, it's scary, it just puts you on the edge of the seat, and you just have to give it a read. James Patterson, great writer. So everybody, welcome to What Are You Reading? For those of you who just joined us, you know how this works. You let us know what you've been reading, and we'll let you know what we've been reading here in the Better Reading office. Don't forget to say hi in the comments, and I will be looking out for some comments. We've got one from Pauline, who's reading The Unquiet Grave by Dervla McTiernan. What a great author. Okay, now what I want to talk to you about is what's really exciting is we've had a brand new Come to My Kitchen episode come out this week. It came out yesterday and it's going so well. If you don't know what Come to My Kitchen is, it's when we promote cookbooks, and we have Cheryl, who sometimes invites the author of the cookbook if possible. This time it wasn't, because it was Recipes to Remember by Jox Zonfrillo, but she cooks a recipe out of the book and you just come along for the ride, and she gives you lots of fun tips. And so yeah, as I mentioned, this time it was Jox Zonfrillo, Recipes to Remember. This is the little teaser, but in the video you'll see the proper cookbook, and this is just a cookbook to remember the life of Jox Zonfrillo, who sadly passed away, but there's lots of great recipes in here. Lots of recipes, but then also, an example of one, how delicious does that look? But it's also got stories and quotes about him and his life. And there's a foreword by Jamie Oliver. So I highly recommend that. Get the cookbook if you haven't, but we're now going to watch a little teaser of the Come to My Kitchen video.
Hi everyone, Cheryl Arkle. This is a segment where I cook out of a cookbook. Today, out of Jock Zonfrillo's book, I am making butter, and then with that butter, I am making a lemon loaf cake. So, come to my kitchen.
Yep, so highly recommend watching all those videos. That's our 3rd episode, but we've got so many coming out. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, on our stories, we've been giving little behind the scenes sneak peeks into us when we're filming them, so highly recommend going and checking that out. Following us on Instagram and Facebook, but follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube actually, because we've got so many coming out. There's been so many great recipes, and we just have more and more coming, and it's really exciting. So yeah, got a few more comments from you guys. Anne is reading Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. The family dynamics are providing lots of laughs in this mystery. I will say, I haven't read many Leanne Moriarty, but Apples Never Fall, that is the one I think I've read by her, and I should go and read more, but that was given to me as a birthday present. So I read that one. And Carolyn says, in the last week, she's read Cult by Camilla Lockberg and Henrik Fixus, The Woman in Coach D by Sarah A. Denzel, and Nice Girls Don't Win by Parvati Shallow, read by Parvati. Oh, so was that a audio book read by her? Don't you love it when you listen to audiobooks and it's read by the actual author, because they just know their books the best, and it just brings a whole nother layer of meaning to it, especially when it's memoirs. I do love that. So yeah, let me know, Carolyn, if that's a audiobook Nice Girls Don't Win that you've been listening to. I've actually just downloaded an audiobook to listen to, because I was telling you last week that I'm a bit behind on my reading challenge, and I think what I need to do is start listening to books in the car instead of podcasts, so I can catch up on my reading. So if there's any audiobooks that you think just make so much more, just make it more better being read out, being in an audiobook format than a physical book format, let me know and I will read them. Another book I've been reading is Eat Your Heart Out by Victoria Brownlee. I think this was a preview a few months ago, so I know some of you guys have read this one, but I've been loving it. It says it's Emily Henry meets Emily in Paris, and I love Emily Henry books, and I also love Emily in Paris, so this was perfect. But it's a rom-com, and it's when it's based in Paris. Well, it starts in Paris, and all these food writers get invited to this crazy long weekend interview where they are competing to write the memoir of a famous author who hasn't really put anything into the press or anything. Famous chef, not famous author. I've only just started reading it, but I'm really excited. Let me know if you have read this one and what you think, but it's like a rom-com vibe. But I think it's kind of like rom-com meets Knives Out, kind of, I want to say. But I will find out through reading it. So highly recommend. I've only read a little bit, but I'm excited to finish this one. The next book I have to talk about this is actually a kid's book. Tim Winton has come out with this, Ningaloo, and it's all about Australia's wild wonder. If you know Tim Winton, you know he loves the Ningaloo Reef, and he's a big fan of conserving the reef, and he loves it, and he thinks it's one of the last great wild places on the planet, and it's a World Heritage Treasure. We did a podcast episode with him, so Cheryl chatted to him on our Stories Behind the Story podcast. But before I chat about that, I just want to show you inside, because it's beautiful. The illustrations were done by Cindy Lane, and she is just amazing. So I'll just show you some of it inside. So it's just, non-fiction, and teaches you all about the different animals and, creatures in the Ningaloo Reef. Let me try. It even goes underground, which is really cool. And then underwater. So this is just absolutely stunning. I love this book. And if you want to hear the conversation, highly recommend. But so basically Stories Behind the Story is our podcast, and Cheryl talks to lots of different authors from a wide range of genres, so there's something for everybody, and it's just so good. She dives deep, she gets to know about their lives and what brought them to being a writer and the stories behind their story, and it's just the perfect thing to listen to you on your way to work or your way home from work, which that's what I do, but I love a good podcast. So guys, welcome. What are you reading? You let us know what you've been reading, and we let you know what we've been reading here in the office. Please let me know what you've been reading in the comments, or also any books that I should add to my TBR. I think, another book that I finished reading 2 weeks ago is Shadows of Wildstone by Mandy Magro. I love Mandy Magro. She's such a great author, a great rural romance author. I love this one. I just could not put it down, and it's about Naya Hart, and she just returns to the town of Wildstone, which is where she grew up. Then her sister disappeared, and then her mum turned on her and blamed her for that. So her and her dad move away, but then when her mum passes away, she goes back to, face all the shadows of Wildstone, and she goes back and she hopes to discover what really happened to her sister there, and she runs into Caleb, I've been reading too many books. Caleb was her best friend and boyfriend growing up, and he's now a police officer, and they kind of rekindle their relationship, and she's just hoping that together they can find out what happened to her sister. So you want to find out what happens to her sister, definitely give that one a read. I love it so much. I love rural romance. Mandy Magro, Carly Lane, Rachel Johns, great rural romance authors. But let me know what you guys think, if you're a big rural romance fan or not. Let's see, do I have any more comments? Yep, Carolyn said it was an audiobook, and she really enjoyed the author reading it. And yeah, not a lot of comments. So I think that brings us to the end. I think I've spoken about all my books. Next week, Cheryl will be back with What Are You Reading? And we're going to be talking about books to do with traveling, because apparently Skyscanner just has come out with a report saying that the third reason people travel is to go and look at places that they've read in books. So we want to know if any books have inspired you guys to go on a trip, and what's your favourite place in a book. Oh, got some comments, and one last before I leave. Taz says she's currently reading Queen Bee by Kira Garati. I have not heard of that one. I'll have to go check it out. But thanks guys so much for coming to What Are You Reading? Don't forget to let us know what you've been reading in the comments, and we'll have a look at it. And come next week for a little travel segment. What are you reading? See you later. Bye.